Hello everyone and welcome to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. First of all, Happy New Year! With quite a little bit of delay. As you know, I went out, it was a couple of weeks with my family for Christmas, and when I came back I found out that my internet was barely working. It was working, but the speeds were atrocious. And I just got it fixed yesterday. So that's good news because means I can upload again. Without further ado, let's go into today's episode. What we are going to do today is, in the forums of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, I saw someone who was having problems with Sink the Raiders scenario. Now, this scenario is actually pretty complicated because you are going against three enemy armor cruisers which have quite better fire control than you have access to in either of the options. So they are going to hit you, and they are going to hit you a lot. And they are three. So it means that they might not be really amazing enemies in a 1v1 scenario, but 3v1 is actually quite complicated, especially at the ranges involved, because you need to be quite close in order to hit. Because your fire control systems aren't really good. So there are four different options for this scenario. There's the boost firepower, there's optimized maneuverability, there's optimized survivability, and there's more fans. Now the more fans bonus I don't think is worth it in most cases. And I'm not going to try it, because seriously, this scenario is quite hard as it is to go with that. I have played it already in boost firepower and optimized maneuverability. In both cases you can do it. With boost firepower, you get access to class 3 fire control, and better guns, which both are actually pretty important. So you can go for an approach with more guns, essentially, and make them count. With optimized maneuverability, is pretty much you can make a faster ship without too much trouble, and not sacrifice anything in weapons or armament. The problem is you get only class 1 rangefinders and fire control system. It can be done. I have already done it with an armor cruiser, actually. But this one is a new one. This one I hadn't tried until I saw that particular thread in the forums. In this one, you are given a lot of bonuses, especially in what regards to weight. So that means that you can pack a lot of stuff in your hull and still make it incredibly well armored. Now, I gave this scenario a try yesterday. I failed. I'm going to try it again. I think I know what I got wrong last time. So what I'm going to do is to enter this scenario. I'm going to design the ship. I'm going to explain to you what I'm going to do with this particular ship. And we'll give it a go. So let's go. Okay. Here I have the end design. Now, you will be wondering, what's this? Okay, this is a Battleship 3, and this is a Dreadnought hull with a lot of weapons cramming. Now, the big selling point of this particular model isn't that you have very good weapons, right? Is that you are given a lot of bonuses for your armor. And trust me, I made extensive use of that. You can see I went with a 14-inch belt, 12.5, 12.6 actually belt extender. What this means is that, as you know, the current armor system of this game models the belt as if it covers the whole hull. So that's not realistic, but it's how it works, so we are going to go with that. The idea is to make this pretty much impenetrable to enemies that are at longer ranges than, say, 4,000 or 5,000 meters. And we are going to stay at that range. And we are going to stay at that range for as long as we can. Of course, we are a very slow ship. It's only 18 knots. But we have maximum bullheads. The only thing I sacrificed in here, and I didn't go with the best option possible, was with advanced hydraulical turrets instead of electrical. Not a big loss, honestly. With ballistic explosive instead of white power. we can live with both, especially so because of what I'm going to explain you in a second. And where is it? Yep, anti-torpedo and hull bottoms. I didn't go with a triple hull bottom, and I didn't go with an anti-torpedo 3 or 4. That's because this really cost a lot in terms of displacement. You can see it jumps by almost 1,000 tons. It's almost impossible to pack all this armor with anything more than an anti-torpedo 2. Now, torpedoes are a threat in this scenario. You are going against 3 enemies, and those 3 enemies are actually pretty complicated. They are going to come close. They probably are going to carry some kind of torpedoes, so you need to be on the watch not to be hit. If you are hit, you are in big trouble. Still, something has to give. Really, in this design, I'm packing so much stuff that something has to give, and that was the torpedo protection. I have in all the rest, also I have a Citadel 2 because again, well, the loss between Armor Citadel and 3 and 2 is not that big yet. Well, there are some changes, but I mean, this is good. This is most important. This is really relevant when your armor is penetrated. My plan is not to get my armor penetrated at all. So this is secondary to all the rest things. The rest is top. You can see we have access to group 4. So yeah, that's really important because that almost doubles our numbers here, which is this ship is going to be hard to penetrate. Now, what I went with yesterday was a very similar ship to this, but with much less extended belt, maybe 8 inches. The problem is that with 8 inches, you are not proof at the ranges you are going to fight. And hits are going to happen, and a lot of them, because the enemy has more guns, they fire faster, and they are more accurate. So they are going to hit you. They are going to hit you all across your ship, not just on the middle. So yeah, I lost because of this. I didn't have enough extended belt, and it ended up costing me the try. Now, you can go with both rangefinders. I'm going to go with stereoscopic, which means I need to give a little bit elsewhere. There. This means slightly better long range accuracy. Again, we are going to try to stay at the range, so I want to go with this. If you plan for closer encounters than 5,000 meters for this particular scenario, coincidence rangefinder is an option because the base accuracy is bigger. But again, we are going to try to keep at the range. So yeah. Now for the offensive power, I went not all out because I can't. Let me explain. In your main battery, you have options to go up to 13 inches of guns. The problem with this is that you can see the rate of fire is very slow. The accuracy is crap. It weighs a lot, it costs a lot, and not a very good option. The Mark II's 12-inch guns are, again, very heavy, very costly. They fire faster, but still have crappy accuracy. If we go down one step, however, you can see that our hit chances are significantly better because this is a Mark III mount, which means that it's going to fire faster than the Mark II 11-inch gun. It's not going to hit nowhere near as hard as a 12-inch gun, but still it's going to fire faster, has much better accuracy. An 11-inch gun should do a number on any armor cruiser you are going to hit at the ranges we are going to fight at. The chances to hit are crap, straightly said, but we are not aiming to get a lot of hits. What we are aiming is to get the few hits we can with the crappy fire control system we have, but those have to count. Those have to really damage the enemy. If I went with smaller guns, yeah, I could go with 9 inches and go with an all 9-inch battery, but honestly, I want to max out the damage I do with my weapons. I can't put any bigger guns than 9 inches on the sides. You can see I have 2 turrets per side. So this is a broadside of 8-bit guns. Only 4 of them are 9-inch and the other 2 are 11-inch. But you will note that both of them are quite accurate. I mean, the break even point also is the distance I plan to fight at, more or less 4,500 meters, 5,000 meters, sorry. And at that range, you can see that the base hit chance of both guns is pretty much the same. Come closer, the 9-incher becomes more accurate than the 11-incher. Go beyond, the 11-incher is more accurate than the 9-incher. Again, the idea is we are not going to get a lot of hits because our fire control system is crap, but those that we do get, I really want to count. So yeah, let's see if that works. I mean, this way, yesterday what I went was with top torpedo and triple hull, and with a lot less armor for my extended belt, and it costed me. I hope this one actually works. Also, I increased a lot the extended deck for the same reasons. I want pretty much equal protection all around the ship, and also on the secondaries a lot of protection. Why? Well, because your firepower is everything. With as bad a fire control system I have, if I begin losing guns left, right, and center, I'm not going to hit anything. So I want to keep those guns active for as long as I can. Okay, let's try it. Let's see how it goes. And okay. Oh, I'm fighting the Spanish. Come on, why? I'm not a traitor. Anyway, let's go. Okay, enemies here. First deal is hitting the first guy in the line. We have to protect the transports. If either one of them is sunk, we lose. So what we are going to do is to... What's the range? 7.4 kilometers. We are not going to hit anything at that range. Well, we might, but if we are really lucky, but I don't count on it. The idea is to close down to 5,000 meters and then keep the range as much as I can. I have torpedoes. The idea with these torpedoes is not really to hit the enemy, because really these are crappy torpedoes, they are really slow, they are very easily spotted, they are very easily avoided. The idea with these torpedoes actually is to force the enemy to turn away if they come too close. I only have 8 of them, I don't really need more, so I'm going to put this on off. Now, yeah, you can see that the individual hit chance is actually pretty shit. The collective one is almost 10% in both cases. You can see the 11 inches are a little bit more accurate at this range. We are going to come closer, so both have more or less the same hit chances. I'm going to open myself a little bit, not a lot, but I don't want the range also closing too fast. So far we are not getting hit, trust me, we are going to get hit a lot. And even while I have a lot of armor, that doesn't mean I'm invulnerable, because they are firing high explosive, which really doesn't do a lot, especially not with all this armor, but the little it does, it adds up. I mean, it really ends up adding a lot over time, and we don't like that, we don't want that. Okay, now another important thing is the opposition we have, because depending on the enemies you have, I have seen everything on this scenario. From enemies armed with 10-inch guns, but not great armor and especially few bulkheads, to enemies with 8-inch guns, but almost impossible to sink because they have max bulkheads and a lot of armor. So let's see what the AI throws at us in this particular one. We have already hit once, a bounce, probably a bad hit, or that's unlucky actually, because at this range everything should go in. That probably means it's very well armored, this ship. Okay, means it seems a lot of small guns in this case. Well, small, 6 or 7 inches. Okay, this one has a couple of 9-inch guns or so, and this one is similar to the previous one. So okay, I'm going to wait until I get a confirmation about exactly what its enemy ship packs. We have been hit and we are on fire, but you see, well, it's a hit that didn't penetrate, didn't cause any damage. That will change, trust me. I mean, as much armor as we pack, we are not invulnerable. We're going to take very little damage per hit, but it's going to add up. So that's the idea. That's why the idea is, well, if I'm not going to hit a lot, because I'm not, You will see when we have full identification that the enemy has much larger chances to hit us than we have chances to hit them. Well, if that's the case, what I want to do is to the few hits I'm going to get, because I'm not going to get a lot, I want them to count. I want them to really damage the enemy. And the idea is not to sink each ship in succession. Okay, they are down to 5.6 kilometers. It's really time to begin opening ourselves. Again, the idea is not to sink this one, then this one, then this one. No. If you do that, you are into trouble. Because there's one thing in this game which is cumulative damage. The more structural damage you get, the lesser your chances to hit are. So if I reduce an enemy to maybe 50% structural damage, and even so if he has flooding, his chances to hit are going to be severely reduced. So also he's going to fall out of line, he's going to lose speed, he's going to be a much lesser threat. So the idea is to get a couple of very important hits on the enemy, damage him a lot, and then switch to the next one, then to the next one, and then come back to the first, sink it, then the second, then the third. Okay, we are at 5.2 kilometers. Let me check. Yeah, a little bit more away. That's right. We want to stay in. We want to force them to. Okay, standard bullheads, 8-inch gun. Ooh, 8 inches of top armor. Oof. And that's plus 82%. So that's group 3. Can we? Let me check on that. Can we pen? Yeah. If we don't hit the deck, probably that's the hit we got. A bounce that hit the deck. Well, as long as we don't hit the deck, we are going in. Good. This one is 9-inch guns. Okay. Standard, lesser armor. Good. Okay. Might make sense to begin targeting this guy, but I'm already shooting at this one, so I'm going to try to damage him a little bit. Okay, turn more. We want them to force them on a stern chase while firing all the guns, but well, so far they haven't hit us. I hope that continues. You can see, however, ooh, nice. First good hit, one funnel destroyed. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can see that the enemy has a 16% chance to hit in each gun. So those hits are going to happen. Ooh, the other funnel, that's actually pretty good. He's going to lose speed over time. I might as well... Yeah, I'm going to do it. I might slow myself a little bit, couple knots only, to get a little bit of bonus to accuracy. It's not going to make a huge difference, but... Yeah, any chance I have to hit the enemy. Again, another fire, another non-damage hit. So far it's working. Yeah, you can see, well, so far they have been deck hits. Well, no, actually, extended. This one might have gone in if I had lesser armor. Okay, our chances to hit are 4.6 per gun. A collective of 17%. Not great. Okay, they are coming close to 4.6. I want to know, this is important. Okay, these 9-inch guns. Okay, as long as we remain beyond maybe 3 kilometers, that's going to be fine. These guys don't have torpedoes. Ooh, that's great. This one has torpedoes, however. And yeah, flooding. Good. This is going to impair his chances to hit because flooding hits accuracy. That really is a quite severe minus chance to hit. And yeah, that's also red compartment. Now, if you don't know what that means, I destroyed the funnel again. That's funny. Also, the flooding is spreading. Not very fast, but it is good. A hit now in amidships that causes flooding would pretty much destroy him. Of course, he's going to repair the flooding, but the thing is that in the game, you only are able to unflood compartments which aren't destroyed. and I saw that one of the compartments, this one down here in his silhouette, that was red. So this guy has permanent flooding. He has a compartment which is completely flooded and is going to stay that way for the remainder of the battle. So what I'm going to do, you can see that he's maneuvering out of line. He's going to go around and come back to the rear of the enemy formation. What I want to do is to, well, try to hit him again. If I don't, he's going to repair the flooding. I'm not going to lose sleep about that. I will leave it for later to finish him off and move on to the next one, because the next one is coming down to less than 5 kilometers and I don't like that. Come on. A good hit amidships under the waterline would be amazing here. No, no such luck. Oof. Well, of course, we are at a 7.2 chance per hit per gun, which is not amazing. Okay, you can see that, yeah, he's repairing the flooding in the bow compartment. Soon the middle one is going to be repaired as well. But he has both funnels destroyed, so he's going to be really struggling in order to accelerate or decelerate. And yeah, he's going to have a much lesser chance to hit me, because he's at 88% structure, which is not a very big impact to his accuracy, but the flooding is going to matter. Okay, it's time to switch targets, I think. Yeah. Well, I will give it one more go, one more salvo from both guns. Okay, first, you can see we have been hit, but nothing. Nothing. And 2 of those hits happened in the extended section, which would have been a problem with lesser armor. Okay, that was a miss. Let's see the 11-inch guns. Okay, he has repaired most of the flooding. Okay, no sense in insisting. Let's move on to the next one. Now, the good news is that these guys, only this one has torpedoes, and they will have maybe a 5-kilometer range. He's moving away. He's going to be pretty slow for the remainder of the battle, because he has 2 of the funnels destroyed. And yeah, he has flooding, so he's not going to be as fast, which means he will have problems coming into range to launch his torpedoes. Meanwhile, we are merrily moving around. We got hit again, fire, deck extended, partial penetration, and a casemate destroyed. Well, not a big deal, because the casemates, I mean, I have the big guns in the turrets. The casemates are only 3 inches guns, which really don't do a lot against enemies this size. They help, any hit helps, really. But, yeah, I mean, also, very low chance to hit at this range, so not a lost. Not a lot lost here. Okay, let's see if we can get a couple solid hits, which seems not. Again, we are not relying on high volume of fire, because no, I mean, with this size of guns, that's a no-go. These ones fire twice per minute. These actually are slower than that. So we don't have volume of fire. We don't have accuracy. What we want is individual hits that do a lot of damage. So yeah, in the meantime, okay, we are down to 97%. Well, could be worse. Especially so, again, this probably is partial penetration, yeah. Those do damage, as you can see. And when they begin happening with a lot of regularity, it really adds up pretty fast. The problem is, if you lose structure, you lose not only accuracy, you begin losing speed. If you begin losing speed, they are going to have a much easier time closing in. If they close in, they might get down to the range that the guns can actually penetrate you. If you go down to that range, it's over. It's a done deal. It's a wrap, and you might as well go and try again, because at that stage there's nothing that can be done. This guy, as you can see, his flooding is permanent. He's not getting away. Good. I would have liked a little bit more of structural damage, but I guess that will do. Okay. Yeah, you can see they are beginning to really hit. Not a big deal. Again, yeah, those things will do a little bit of damage. It's going to be not really nice, but hey, well, I mean, as long as we don't lose a lot of fighting power over time, we can grind them down faster than that they can grind us up. So that's the idea, at least. Yesterday it was working fine. I mean, the try I did last time, which I didn't record because at the time I still didn't have my internet working. It was going pretty well, but then hits on the extremities began to happen, and they were all penetrations, and yeah, that got really nasty, really fast. Okay. He's at 4.5 kilometers. As soon as he crosses 4 kilometers, I'm going to lob a torpedo, because I don't want him closer than that. Also, I'm going to turn a little bit more away. Let's see. Come on, no hit so far. That's really unlucky. I mean, I have only an 8% chance per gun, but some hits should have happened. Yeah, well, some hits have happened, but they are all, well, only two of them. Only one of them is of 90 inches of bigger. So we really need our big guns to connect, which again is going to happen sooner or later. Also, I'm using heavy cells. Again, we want individual hits to be as damaging as possible. These guns are Mark 3s. 200. Ooh, that's a nice hit. Wow, I really seem to be hitting a lot of funnels in this particular game. Okay, 240 kilograms of shell versus. Okay, yeah, I'm shooting heavy cells. They are shooting standard, and they are hitting. Wow, an over. Ah, no, that was mine. Overpen. Okay, yeah. Partial pen, partial pen. Those are very small damages. Again, they begin adding up. But there's another consideration to structural damage. Wow, that's a big fire. Ooh. Let's hope we put it out pretty soon. Once your compartment is damaged, it takes less damage. So if we begin having red compartments, those won't take any more structural damage because what's destroyed can't be more destroyed, right? Okay, 4.2 kilometers. Coming closer to the range where I really want to keep them honest. I mean, not closer than that. Come on. Really, bad luck. Okay, I'm going to lob a torpedo. Torpedo out. Yeah, you can see, well, that torpedo is aimed that way. That's how amazing these torpedoes are, which means they are crap. I'm going to open myself a little bit more. Again, the idea is to try to keep them at the range. So the idea is he's going to see these torpedoes. Ooh, I like that. I like that too. Finally, we got a little bit lucky. Main tower destroyed, conning tower damaged. That means that his hit chances, yeah, I mean, they are lower than the guy which is farther than him. And a lot more similar than mine. Good. Good. That's really good. Engine 2 repaired. San Esteban, what? Oh, now I have flooding on him as well. Okay, this is working well. Okay, this torpedo is wasted because he's going to lose speed, and I'm going to miss. And probably, if I keep damaging him at this rate, he's going to fall off the line, as the first one did. So yeah, that was a wasted torpedo, mostly. Another funnel it goes, yeah. Wow, that flooding is spreading. Keep it on, come on. Yeah, he's already maneuvering. You can see he's beginning the turn. He's going to fall down and go behind this guy. So again, the idea is we keep on firing him until he passes the next guy in line, and then we switch target to the next one. This one Wow, look at all that fire. Wow, we really did hit this guy hard. Maybe we get an enemy destroyed because of fires. Because that fire seems to be spreading faster than they are putting it out. Again, more hits would help. If we can get those hits... they are getting hits on me, meanwhile, but I don't care. I can take them. They can't. Okay, the flooding has stopped. And now they are going to begin repairing it. Okay, yeah, they are putting fires out. Sad face, we didn't kill him. Yet. But we will. The idea is that we can... Ooh, that didn't sound very well. Torpedo destroy... Oh, shoot. That's problematic. Any engine 2 damaged. Good, we got another hit with flooding. Very nice. Okay, the problem now is that we really can't control the range with our torpedoes. So, I might do a course reversal at some point. Because torpedoes are really important to keep the enemy at range. Okay, the salvo, now the salvo of the 11 inchers, and we will switch targets to Santana. This guy is really messed up. Wow. No fires. Well, one is going on currently, but that flooding, well, he's going to repair it, but... Ooh, yes! Both towers out. Also, he's suffering from damage in engines because the flooded compartments, the engines are there. So, yeah, this guy has lost most of his speed. What do I want to say? I want to try to really kill him. I mean, I have a 41% chance to hit per volley and per salvo. I'm getting a little bit too greedy here, maybe. Okay, let's try. Oh, almost, damn it. The 90-inch guns also have pretty good chance to hit. No, they didn't. Okay, that's good enough. I have to move on to the next one because he's coming closer and I don't have torpedoes to give him a range. So the sooner I begin firing at him, the sooner I might be able to slow him down. The idea is to keep the enemy at the range, not allow them to come close. How is this guy looking? Yeah, he's reducing flotation. Which means he's going to probably get the engines repaired, at least one or two of them. But he's lost a lot of speed. So yeah, that works for me. Oh, losing that torpedo, man, that was crappy. But we'll make do. He's at 4.4 kilometers, however, I don't like that. I really don't like enemies coming that close to me. Okay, let's try to turn a little bit more. Just enough to give him within the arcs of fire of all my turrets. Yeah, he's repairing the engines as well. Oh well. Yeah, he detected our torpedo and he wasn't even aimed at. I aimed at him, so yeah. Those torpedoes, I see them from a very long range. They are very slow, so they are very easy to avoid, so yeah. You are not hitting a lot with them, but they still force the enemy to turn away. That's a nice hit. Couple of compartments gone, one of them destroyed. Oof. Funnel damaged. Not good news. I only have one, by the way. That's a concern now I think of it. I maybe should have put a second one. Well, I hope that decision doesn't come back to bite my ass. Okay, come on. It's coming really close, I don't like that. Oof! That was almost a hit. 4.3 kilometers. Well, of course, the closer they come, also the bigger my chances to hit are. But yeah, I mean, I don't really want to trust that. Especially not when the enemy has almost twice the chances to hit, more than twice the chances to hit per gun that I do, and they fire faster, and they begin coming to a range where they actually can penetrate our armor. Okay, that's partial penetration only. Unlucky. Still a fire, some damage. I'll take it. I'll take any hits that I can. Meanwhile, our transports are far away, so they are not going to be a problem. They can't sink those at these ranges. Okay. It's worrisome that they are coming he's coming so close. Thankfully, he doesn't have torpedoes. I mean, if those two had torpedoes, this would be a pretty problematic situation because he would be fighting them, and then I would be forced to maneuver in wild ways that I can't predict. I mean, right now I'm keeping a steady course because I know this guy doesn't have torpedoes. If I knew, I would be doing variations all the time. I'm doing small corrections now and then, but when the enemy has torpedoes, you have to be a lot more aware of what you are doing. 4.2 seems that our... Oh, that didn't sound well. Over penetration. What? With the armor we have? Main tower. Oh, shit. Okay, that's bad news. Well, we did hit him. Yeah, but not under the waterline. We really need to slow him down. But this is bad news because it means that we lose part of our tower bonuses. Well, we didn't lose our commanding station, which is really crippling. That's a 25% loss or something like that. Yeah, of course, that's massive. Still, that's important. Ooh! Wow! Okay, that was the kind of hit I really can hope for and wish for. 2 engines out of line. Massive flooding, massive explosion, lots of fire. We will see if that flooding spreads. It's spreading. This means that he's going to be much slower. We can begin turning a little bit more in. Okay. Because he's going to turn away. I mean, once they get this badly hit, they really try to turn away and go back to their formation. So 2 engines destroyed, massive structural damage. He's not going down, however. Unlucky. It didn't really affect a lot of underwater compartments, which is what kills those ships with an ammo detonation. So yeah, ammo detonations aren't necessarily instant destruction of the enemy. It depends on the ammo which is exploding. Probably there was a secondary ammo compartment, maybe over here or over here or over here, that caused all this area to explode. Of course, secondary magazines are not as big as the main ones, so I mean that's massive damage, but that's not a straight up sinking. That's not hood, just to put it that way. Sometimes you get hood hits, sometimes you don't. Also depends on how many bullet hells the enemy has. They have a standard amount, which is pretty fine for an armor cruiser, so that probably contains part of the explosion as well. But he's got massive flooding, massive floating damage. Good. Okay, same idea. We keep on firing at him until the next one in line, which is this one, comes in. This one is really pretty crippled. This one is made a total mess. This one is hurting not so much. So we want to focus on this one as soon as we can. Of course, now that they are... Okay, that was nice. More floating damage. Yeah, of course, as they get damage, they get slower and slower. I still have access to my top speed, I think. I'm at 81%, maybe I have lost a knot or so. Or maybe more than that, who knows, of top speed. But yeah, this guy is really hurting. I mean, flooding is going up. 14, 13. A hit now would probably destroy him. It seems he's going down. Is he? Yeah, he's going down. Next in line. Good. Okay, this is going well. I'm happy with this. So the last attempt I did at this option in this scenario, it was going pretty well, but at this point I was maybe at 6. I got to an enemy. The first enemy I sank, I was down to maybe 50 or so structure because of all the hits on the extremities. Those really added up. I lost a lot of speed. The enemy came close, and that was it. That was it. They finished me off at very close ranges, penetrating hits. Also, 2 of the enemy ships have torpedoes, and those are a real problem once you can't move. I mean, when you are so damaged that you can't move, you can't really go at high enough speed, you can't shake off torpedoes when they see them. By the moment you see them, they are too close to avoid when you are moving at maybe 5 knots. So yeah, that totally destroyed my chances to win. But yeah, I took notice of how the rest of the ship was holding up. I mean, of course, you can't really do anything for your structures, your funnels, because those you can't really armor that much. But the areas that you can armor, which is, look at that, I mean, my extremities have been hit a lot. If I didn't have the kind of armor which I had here, which is ridiculous, by the way, I mean, there's no ship of the era which had that much armor on the armor of the extremities. But yeah, well, if I didn't have that armor, I would have the bow of the ship that would look like a Gruyere cheese, more or less. Okay, we are down to 5 kilometers. Time to go parallel. I don't think he's going to be able to steam at much more than 16 or so knots, so I don't think he's going to be able to come close enough. But I don't want to go any closer. He has torpedoes. This guy has torpedoes. Smaller guns, but torpedoes. And also more armor. Go, come on, some hits. I haven't hit him since I began fighting him again, so yeah. But yeah, well, I mean, I don't really care. Again, you can see the principle behind this scenario, at least with this option. In each option, I think each one is valid to win the scenario. You can't win in all of them. But the idea is that you have to really bank in on the option you go for. So if you go for firepower, really bank in on firepower. Don't forget to armor, because, again, nice. Really, really nice hit. Don't forget armoring, because you are going to need that armor. You are not going to be able to armor the ship as much as I have on this option, but you still need to put armor. You still need to put some speed. But bank on guns. Ooh, funnel destroyed. That's going to be a problem. I'm going to be losing speed. Oof. Well, let's hope we kill this guy before that becomes a problem. So yeah, the basic idea is to bank on the option you go for. If you go for maneuverability, really bank in on speed, on a faster ship. I actually went with an armor cruiser with that option, and it worked. I mean, I ended up with a really chewed up ship. Again, I armored it a lot. Because again, maneuverability gives you both the ability to save weight on your engines, but also you can save that weight not only for more speed, but also for extra armor. Armor is really important in this scenario, I think, because you are going to get hit no matter what. And the idea is you have to stay alive long enough to finish off the enemies because they finish you off. So armor is critical on this scenario. I think actually, probably this is the best option, now I think of it, the armored one. In this one you bank for armor, really. I mean, you still put big guns, because you want those hits to count, but yeah, I mean, you don't go super crazy on them in the sense that you go with 13-inch guns, which you can do on firepower, and actually I think it's the best option, going for 13-inch guns, because the ones that you get with that option are Mark IIIs, which are much better than the ones we have with this option on or the maneuverability one. Okay, 4.3 kilometers. That's perfectly fine. Let's try to keep this range. And again, wait for hits. We don't have very big chances to hit. We still have a 10% chance right now, and that's because he has a lot of speed. You can see the enemy is going so slow that we get a bonus to hit him, actually. When before, we had a minus. We had a penalty. So right now, we actually... I mean, he has lost one engine. So he's slow enough that we have higher chances to hit. At this range before it was maybe 8%, so now it's 11, and yeah, I mean, I think he's still a little bit faster than we are. We are at 15 knots, and again, we can't really lose a lot of speed, because if we lose speed, then we can't really accelerate that much because of the funnel. We lost that funnel. I didn't notice it. I should have put a second one. I do know all my designs. I noticed I didn't when I was already in battle. Yeah, okay. That was unwise of me. I should have put a second one just as a backup. I mean, if one, at least you won't get 100% engine performance with one of them destroyed, but at least you get some. Good, another flooding. That's here. So that means that probably we will get spilling here. He has a standard bulkheads. It's not going to be permanent. You can repair this. It's only a yellow compartment. You will see that in red compartments the flood doesn't go. He might stop it, but whatever is flooded stays flooded. Meanwhile, on yellow ones, it will receive. Good. One of the main guns destroyed. One of the wing turrets. No ammo detonation, however, that's a pity, but hey, I mean, you can't ask for it all, right? We need to be a little bit cautious about enemy torpedoes, and the idea why I'm keeping this stern chase approach is that his torpedoes, I mean, they have 5 kilometers range, I think. No, actually 6. Ugh. So he can actually torpedo me if he wants. Unless I have his torpedoes, and I don't think he has. I need to be careful. Because when you see torpedoes, yeah, you can avoid them, but you don't want to be forced to. Another main gun goes down. Or the same one. Wow, we hit the same turret twice in a row. Which are the chances? But yeah, he's hurting. This guy really can't come close enough to be a danger. He's shooting at 4% chances to hit. He's going to get hits, but not a lot of them. And at that range, they aren't a threat. Wow, come on. No hits. Okay, let's keep this course for a while. Come on. This guy is a couple good hits away from sinking, to be honest. Underwater hits. Or ammo explosions. But I already got one of them. I'm not going to really hope for another one. They do happen, especially so when you can go through the armor without a problem. So they do happen, but you shouldn't really trust on ammo explosions to do the work for you. So I'm not doing that. Actually, I'm increasing the range. Good. That means that I can keep a slightly less aggressive profile. I want to keep the range around this range. Okay, fire, and miss everything. Oh, he's beginning to have problems with his 5-inch battery. Well, I mean, 5 inches are not going to hurt me a lot, to be honest. They can be bothersome, they can be a nuisance, but they really are not going to kill me. The problem, if any, would be his 8-inch guns. Come on. Yes! Main tower hit, not destroyed. But still, that's a slight penalty to his hit chances. Destroyed funnel. Okay. This is going swimmingly well, actually. Much better than what I expected. Wow. After this long and only 25% structural damage, that's really surprising, I have to be honest. Okay, that's another turret destroyed. Yeah, but from the other side. So yeah, we destroyed one of these, the disengaged one. The disengaged side, so yeah, no big deal. Oh, okay, wow. Oh, he's on. I'm betting here and now that this is going to kill him. He's going to get flooding. Here and here is going to spread. This is going to fill. If he doesn't stop that, I mean, right now, especially if I hit, that came close. If I get another underwater hit, he's a gunner for sure. Right now, I'm not sure. He seems to have controlled the flooding to a point. He's still losing in 1% increments, but he might be able to begin repairing faster than what the flooding. Yeah, 13, 12. Those go nice. Conning tower damage. Okay, well, man, whatever. I mean, he's not going to hit anything right now. I wasn't worried about that. I really wanted one. Come on, a little bit. He's repairing the flooding. He's going up and down, up and down, and up and down. That means that one compartment has been patched, and both are patched. No, okay, he's going up. He's going to keep his two middle ones. These two are going to stay. They were red, so yeah. Well, damn it. That sucks. We were so close. Eventually, it will happen. I mean, it's not a big deal. Also, he's almost stopped. Look at that. Plus 42% chances to hit because of slow speed. So much flooding. The engine's being kicked out. I have an 8% chance to hit. Oh, only? Oh, yeah, because I'm turning. Okay, yeah, wow. That makes sense. Come on. Flooding where? Oh, don't tell me I got a flooding in the same area that I already had one. That sucks. That really does. I think I hit in the ball one. By the location. It's spilling, it's causing again flooding in the next compartment, but he's going to be able to repair that. Come on. Oof, 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 that came close. Well, at any rate, yeah, this guy is a goner. I mean, he's still here, but who cares? I mean, he barely can hit me. He has lower chances to hit than I do. Has suffered from several damage turrets. Once this guy crosses, I'm going to begin targeting him instead. If we don't hit him before, of course. Now we are really hitting him hard. And he hasn't patched that flooding yet. So he might still sink, we'll see. Yeah, now is when I want to close in. Now I don't care. Because now it's essentially a 1v1 versus an already damaged enemy. Now is when I want to close in and finish the job. In the meantime, oof. Well, it's beginning to be a little bit of a steep angle. I might change to high explosive for a couple minutes here. Let's do that. Why do I go for high explosive? Well, because the chances to ricochet are beginning to be bigger, right? Especially if I hit in the main belt. So the idea is that I want whatever hits that happen, which are going to probably be on the rear side of the ship, to high explosive. It has a really good chance to get flooding, for instance. Very an important flooding, but just a tiny little bit right now would be enough to top it off and kill the enemy. So I'm looking for that. Let's see if it works. Oof! Come on! Very low chances to hit. Why? Target maneuver. Really? Is stopped and is at minus 10% because he's maneuvering? Oh, no. Keep on shooting at this guy. He was switching targets. No. I'm going to accelerate time a little bit. Just to reset the locked status. There you go. Yeah, that the AI does that. I mean, this is a much bigger threat right now. I agree with that, but I want to finish this dude. So the AI is not bad at selecting enemies. The problem is that it's really bothersome. Because if you really want to focus on one guy to finish him off, and suddenly it changes your aim to hit something else, I mean, it's aggravating at times. It really is. He's repairing the flooding, damn it. Come on. Not getting lucky with my hits, to be honest. After 2 ammo explosions. Yeah, well, not getting very lucky now with my hits, rather. The thing is, I don't really want to come very close until it's a 1v1. Because even if this guy has a lower chance to hit, he's still there. This is still a worry, and he has torpedoes, and I really don't want to deal with those. Okay, flooding, good. On the end bow, that's what I was looking for. Okay, partial penetration. We are opening the angle again. So once we go under 40% or so angle, you can see those numbers. Last line. Okay, there he goes. The bow was enough. Okay, back to AP. And now really we go mad. We go all in. We go and destroy this dude. Because he has no torpedoes, I don't worry about him. And yeah, with our gunfire, yeah, his higher volume of fire really doesn't matter anymore. Also, he doesn't have a lot of cells left. Still more than enough. I mean, but especially he doesn't have torpedoes. In this engaged side, I don't either. But I'm not scared of coming close to a single enemy. To the 3 of them, and especially where they are intact, is suicidal. Against a single, and especially when I'm okay, it's not going to be necessary. It really isn't. Wow, man! I'm going to say this. Actually, the best option for this scenario is, ironically, survivability, armor. That was a pretty. I'm proud of myself. Actually, this is a very difficult scenario. Trust me, it's not easy by any means. But I hadn't really tried this until yesterday. In that one go, I failed again. I mean, it's difficult. It's hard. If the enemy comes close enough, you are done for. And it's not easy to keep an enemy which is much faster than you. Those guys were 25 knots or something like that. It's not easy to keep them at a range and prevent them from pretty much murdering you at close range. But yeah, that I think I changed my mind. I used to think that the best option here was firepower. The best option is survivability. Wow. Well, if you like this video, you know all the drills. Comment, like, subscribe, etc., etc. If you want to see more of this game, let me know. If you want to see any particular scenario of the academy, let me know. With any particular, I mean, don't tell me go with 6 raiders with more funds, because that's a challenge, yes, but it's not really enjoyable. It's not going to teach anyone anything, because this option is crap. I mean, you get no statics, and you only get more funds. You end up with a ship which is crap. So sensible petitions of some scenario that you want to see done with my ideas, thought processes, and all that kind of stuff. Let me know. And yeah, well, as always, thank you very much for watching, and see you later.